Hi, my name is Sarah Taylor. I'm Europe Director at the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. I have had a career all through government, both in local government, international government and national government, working in the United Nations, in the London Borough of Hackney during the Olympics, and in various government departments, including the Cabinet Office, Department for Culture, Media and Sport, and now the FCDO. As a director, a typical day for me is jumping around from different subjects. I'm responsible for the entire region of Europe, so I spend my day looking at a huge range of different countries, ministerial visits, PM visits, thinking about what we want to get out of those, looking at where we want to increase relationships, where relationships are going not as well as they sometimes do, whether or not we need to build resilience into our system to address that, or whether we need to take action to improve relations. Some of the skills I think I need to succeed are an open mind, curiosity, a reasonably analytical brain, but most importantly, the ability to bring together teams of people who bring huge range of backgrounds and disciplines, because the key to good policy making is diversity of thought. And you need to be able to create an environment where people can bring their views and feel that they have an equal voice into that process. I think I've had a fairly peripatetic career. I studied politics and then international relations at university, which of course sort of set me on a track into public administration and international affairs. I worked outside of government initially in lobbying. Then I thought, hang on a minute, the interesting stuff's happening on the other side of the desk. And so I applied from a newspaper advert to join the civil service into the Cabinet Office. But I was still keen to pursue international relations. So when the opportunity to take a secondment to the UN came up, I took it. I was there for 2 years before I came back to the UK, where I took a series of jobs in DCMS. One of the great things about the civil service, I think, is that really, if you've got an inquiring mind and the right set of skills, you can try anything. And so the ability to jump between subject matters that are of interest to you is a huge privilege. I've worked on gambling legislation, on social exclusion, on internet regulation, on cyber diplomacy, and now in Europe. I think the thing that really set me on this path early on was my history teacher at school, actually. I'm quite severely dyslexic. I was due to read history at university and I failed my history A-level. And my history teacher took it upon himself to ring up a number of universities and say, you'd be bonkers not to take this person. And as a result of that, I got a couple of places to read politics. I ended up taking one in Exeter University, and I haven't really stopped from there. Challenges I think I've overcome, first and foremost, I think it's a sense of imposter complex. What do I know about this subject? Why would anyone want to listen to me? But the best piece of advice I was ever given, I think, in my career is that it is better to be helpful than right. And if you can convene the right people, create the right environment, ask the right questions, provide the right challenge, and do that with confidence, you are part of the solution to any policy problem. I have a couple of cheesy mantras that I carry with me, one of which is to be kind and be brave. I've always found that the things that I, looking back, am most proud of are the things that scared me the most before I did them. And taking that step, sometimes just showing up, is the most important thing. And once you're in the room, you start to figure out how you're going to manage the next step. I'm going to recommend, because I think it's an amazing book, a book called Place of Greater Safety by Hilary Mantel, who wrote the Wolf Hall trilogy. And it's an extraordinary insight into the French Revolution and the characters, the domestic life and pressures that drove that set of individuals and then the country. through its revolution. And I can't recommend it more.